So the unrivaled social media admins are genuinely embarrassing. They are embarrassing. And this is something that has happened from day one of Unrivaled. Let's not forget when the Unrivaled social media page started liking Caitlin Clark hate tweets. The Unrivaled social media page prior to season 1 of Unrivaled started liking Caitlin Clark hate tweets. Let's not...
Ever seen a pro sports league completely lose the plot on social media? Well, buckle up, because this is straight up wild. That's not just a bad tweet. We're talking a full-blown pattern from day one. The Unrivaled's official account was caught liking Caitlin Clark hate posts before the league even tipped off a single game. And now, they've turned up the heat, publicly trashing Aliyah Boston while she's absolutely dominating their tournament. So the real question is, why does a professional sports league social media team seem to have a personal vendetta against Indiana Fever players? Check this out.
Angel Reese being like, oh, you know, it's so great to play for fans that basically that are positive towards all the players. And I'm like, dude, you don't, like, that is not sports. That is not sports. And that's the weirdest thing. This is not sport. Like, it's so funny when it comes down to this, is like, this Unrivaled will never succeed as a sports league. It might succeed as a traveling show, which is why I think it's smart to turn it into a traveling show. It will not succeed as a sports league because they refuse to allow any rivalries. They think rivalry is a bad thing. It's everything about the WNBA is fucking bullshit when it comes to sports. Like, you can't...
That was intense, right? Listen to that energy. Unrivaled wants all the perks of being a real league. The credibility, the eyeballs, the sponsorship cash. But they're straight up ignoring what actually makes sports addictive. Rivalries, tension, that us versus them fire that hooks fans. Angel Reese even said she loves playing for fans who are positive to everyone. But come on, that's not sports, that's summer camp with a scoreboard. Now flip the script. Remember the Indiana Fever during Caitlin Clark's rookie season? The whole league was gunning for her, physically testing her every game. Did they whine? Nah. They hardened, got savage, developed that killer edge. And guess what? You're seeing that same fire in Aliyah Boston over at Unrivaled. Wait till you see this next clip.
This is the most niche reference ever. This is the most niche reference ever. And I grew up watching that team who were like mediocre for a while, and Waterford used to come down and spank Talca every single year. Every year Waterford used to spank Talca. And then Talca got an unbelievable pro in by the name of Eva Cunningham. They got to a National Cup semi-final. They played Waterford. And I just remember that was probably the most heated...
Exactly. That clip hits hard for context. This isn't just some American thing. This is straight up universal sports psychology. Take the Tallaght versus Waterford rivalry in Irish women's basketball. Fans were on fire, not hating players, but obsessed with beating the other team. That competitive tension turned every game into a spectacle, elevating the play to men's level intensity. And here's the kicker, Unrivaled. They're completely missing that. They think rivalry equals toxicity, that wanting to dominate your opponent is somehow unsportsmanlike. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are brewing that exact fire, and it's turning them into a legit threat. Watch how Aliyah Boston channels that energy next.
Any team to like the Fever. I don't want another team to like the Fever. The Fever are fucking killers. And that's one of the things I don't think people realize, is that Indiana Fever team are killers. They are a team that absolutely have a chip on their shoulder. They're a team of killers. And I don't think people realize what the rest of the league are doing. What the rest of the league, what Unrivaled are doing. Do you know how powerful having a chip on your shoulder is?
That clip just nails it from a sports psychology angle. The Indiana Fever aren't buying into that Unrivaled summer camp vibe. They're not fawning over the same 5 anointed stars. Nope, they stick together, tight-knit, separate from the rest. You can feel it, it's the Fever versus the whole league. And here's the crazy part, Unrivaled doesn't even realize it, but they're doing exactly what made the Fever deadly last season. When you give a team a chip on their shoulder, make them feel like outsiders, like everyone's gunning for them. You're not breaking them. You're forging straight-up killers. Check this next clip. You're gonna see that edge in action.
reason why Jose Mourinho won a Champions League with Porto. There's a reason why Jose Mourinho, the first thing he did when he became the Chelsea manager was put a target on their back. It was put a target on their back. It was us against the world. He put a target immediately on his own team's back, so that there was every single game was a fucking bloodbath. And what did that do? It turned him into the best team in the world. I know they didn't win the Champions League that year. They bottled it against Liverpool, but it turned him into the best team in the world. Hadn't won a league title in 50 years and immediately became the most feared team in the world, the best defense in the world. They played every single game.
That reference hit so hard. Jose Mourinho knew exactly what he was doing, and the Fever are channeling the same energy. Back in 2004, Chelsea hadn't won the league in 50 years. Mourinho comes in, slaps a target on their backs, builds that us against the world siege mentality, and boom, 40-game unbeaten streak, team feared worldwide. Every match felt like a cup final because the players believed everyone wanted them to fail. Now look at the Indiana Fever, the unrivaled social media attacks on Aliyah Boston. They're not breaking the team, they're feeding that same fire. The league thinks they're hurting the Fever, but they're actually making them unstoppable. Watch how that chip-on-the-shoulder energy explodes in the next clip.
Not been a strong suit of Unrivaled, no offense. And treating it like it's a real professional sport has not been a strong suit of Unrivaled. Like, you've literally just got every player just constant glaze for the same 5 players. The same 5 anointed ones. Paige Beckers. You'll never see an opponent. You'll see an opponent of Paige and everyone be asked with Paige and not constantly glaze. You'll never see a fucking opponent say that about anything about Aliyah Boston. And that makes players better. And by the way, Paige is going to be so much better than you too. She actually looks aggressive. But like, that mentality of, you're not going to see, like, the opponents want to fucking kill Caitlin Clark in her rookie season. Whereas they don't want to do that with some other players. And that's what makes you better.
Look at this contrast. It's insane. Paige Bure gets endless pats on the back. The anointed stars get all the buzzwords and social media hype, but Aliyah Boston, opponents are gunning for her, no respect given. And here's the twist, the disrespect is fueling her fire. She's the undisputed best player in Unrivaled right now, and it's not even close. MVP frontrunner. You bet, sure, maybe Kelsey Plum, Brittany Sykes, or Caitlin Clark have a case, but Boston is dominating because she's angry, she's got something to prove. Meanwhile, the league keeps hyping point guard narratives for someone who hasn't run point in 2 years, while treating Fever players like fair game for official accounts to mock. That double standard. It's glaring, and it's shaping an edge you cannot ignore. Watch how she turns that anger into pure dominance in the next clip.
Without her. They replaced the Dewana Bonner with freaking nobody. They went with 10 players in the playoffs. They got better without her. This is the only team that seems to get better with every player going down, because that is the mentality you have to have. Like, I don't mind taking an Odyssey Sims. Like, I don't mind surrounding. I don't even think the Fever need an excess of talent. Like, all the Fever need to do is surround their big 3 with people who are with gritty hustle players who want to be there and know how to win and are willing to do what it takes to win.
That point about the Fever getting stronger every time a player leaves. Absolutely wild. When Alyssa Smith bounced, everyone thought the team would crumble, but nope. They rolled into the playoffs with just 10 players and got better. Replaced Smith with basically nobody and still leveled up. Why? Because this us against the world mentality demands total buy-in. No room for stat chasers or social media clout seekers. You need gritty, hungry players who know what it's like to be doubted, players with chips on their shoulders. That's why the draft strategy here is pure genius. Raven Johnson. She's been the most slept-on star in college hoops for years, yet she's been key to South Carolina's success. That's exactly the type of player the Fever want. Talent with fire, players who've been overlooked and are ready to prove the world wrong. Wait till you see how that energy translates on the court.
Like, you saw what Natasha Howard gave. Like, whatever Natasha Howard, it was frustrating watching Natasha Howard play. But if you saw Natasha Howard in Dallas, or realistically anything post Seattle, like, that is the most effort Natasha Howard put into basketball in years. It was the most effort she put in years. You want players with chips on the shoulder, and this is gonna fucking start it. I cannot wait. The Aliyah Boston villain arc amongst the WNBA faithful has already started. I cannot wait till she gets her first MVP.
That clip just blew the roof off, didn't it? Natasha Mack stepping into Fever camp brought out more intensity than she'd shown anywhere post-Seattle, post-Dallas. Why? Because the Fever demand it. Match the fire or you don't make the roster. That's what separates contenders from pretenders. It's not just talent, it's willingness to sacrifice personal glory, to thrive on being doubted, disrespected. And guess what? Unrivaled social media team is unwittingly feeding that exact fire. Every jab at Aliyah Boston, every double standard, every point guard narrative for someone else, it's motivation for the Fever, proof that the whole league is against them. They've built a culture where players like Boston, Lexi Hull, Katie Lou Samuelson aren't buying into summer camp vibes. They stick to their own, grind with edge, and play with anger that demands attention. Boston is having an MVP-level season because every disrespected moment becomes fuel. The front office knows this. They draft players like Raven Johnson, underrated, overlooked, hungry to prove the doubters wrong. This is what championship DNA looks like. Players who don't need validation, who embrace the grind, who feed off doubt. Meanwhile, most teams chase hype, social media clout, star power, and it fails. Talent alone doesn't win championships. Look at last season. Nalissa Smith leaves, people panic, but the Fever gets better. They went into the playoffs short-handed and peaked. That's the difference. Mentality over hype. And all of Unrivaled's attacks. They're just confirming what Fever players already believe. The WNBA establishment doesn't respect them, doesn't want them to succeed, and will always try to diminish them. That belief. It creates unity, motivation, a true us against the world mentality. Heading into the season, that chip on the shoulder is still there. The Fever remember the physical play, the biased narratives, the constant questioning of their legitimacy. Combine that with another year of growth, continuity, and smart roster moves. You're looking at a team built to contend. While everyone else chases smiles and positive vibes, Indiana is assembling a squad of killers. Doubted, overlooked, disrespected, and hungry. When Aliyah Boston finally claims her first MVP, it'll be the ultimate validation, earned through dominance, not hype, all while being treated like an afterthought. This is the villain arc you want in sports, the real kind, forged through excellence, grit, and proving the world wrong. And here's the ironic twist. Unrivaled social media team is doing more to unite and motivate the Fever than any coach, any training camp, any PR strategy ever could. They're basically handing the Fever fuel for a fire that's going to burn through the WNBA next season. So buckle up, because Boston and this Fever team are about to show the league exactly what it means to be underestimated, and that's going to be one epic ride for the fans. Hit subscribe and stay locked in, because you do not want to miss a second of this villain arc unfolding in real time.